Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Let's start with Xander. Remember a while ago, a couple months ago, we were on that whole Xander redemption arc? Yeah. And I remember me sitting there saying, you can't sit there and change for someone. You have to sit there and do it because you want to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to really matter. And in this episode, well, yeah, that I was pretty much right on that one. So Kristen is trying to convince Xander to, kill the rest of, Sammy and Lucas and, even Kate. She's like, yo, listen, I need some help tying up some loose ends. And of course, Xander's like, nope, I'm not doing it. You could do it yourself. I'm good. And of course, Kristen throws money in there, like, hey, listen, I got money. I'll give you money. Money. And Xander's like, no, I'm good. But then, I don't know, the landlord, the hotel staff member came in there, was like, yeah, is that bill? We needed it, like, yesterday. And, yeah. So you got the money? And, Xander's like, hey, give me a couple weeks. I'm good for it. And, of course, this guy's like, oh, well, I pay attention to the media. I know you don't actually have a job. Okay. I don't know. I guess Titan's a big deal, and him being outed out the company was a big deal. So this guy's like, listen, you got to the end of today. And, of course, Kristen's sitting there smiling. The guy leaves. Kristen starts throwing out just hundreds like it's singles at this point. Just putting it on the table. Hey, money. I know you need it. I know you need this money at this point. So she's like, listen, all I need is proof of life. And you get more where that came from. So at this point, Xander's like, yeah, I think I'm going to be bad again. I'm going to be bad again. So, he pretty much goes over to Damaris' place. Now, Rafe isn't there kicking himself. And to be fair, to be honest, I don't think he actually had anything to kick himself for. Because he's sitting there talking to Gabby, and he's like, I didn't sit there and listen to Lucas, and now, Kate is hurt because, I didn't sit there and take him seriously. And I was like, no, you can't put this on yourself. Because he literally gave you half-ass information when he was not there talking to you about his mother's disappearance, but he can sit there and say why. So, yeah, I don't blame you for not sitting there just jumping out of your seat and just going straight out there into the woods to sit there and try to find her. I completely understand. But he's kicking himself. And at this point, he decides to go to Damaris' place. He decides to go to Damaris' place, and Gabby's going with him so that way, she can get him his phone. She runs into Xander. They both run into Xander, and, Rafe was like, what are you doing here? Xander's like, hey, I'm just looking for a job, see if you can help me out. Gabby's like, yeah, he ain't got time for that. So, Xander acts like he's leaving. At one point, Rafe walks into the room. He looks at the door, the door, the secret passageway, whatever. He looks over there. He's like, nah. But then then him and Gabby leave. Xander comes back and he goes downstairs. Now, Sammy and Lucas, well, they have sex again. They did it again. And at first, Sammy's sitting there blaming Lucas. And I was like, whoa. This is your doing too. So they argue and they bicker for a little bit, and then Sammy tries to find a way out. Lucas is like, I don't know if I can do it. I mean, cause Sammy's like, I need a boost, and Lucas is like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sit there and say you put on any pounds. I'm just sitting there saying, I don't know if I have the strength to really, so it's this funny scene. I'm not gonna lie, I would laugh my ass off. To be honest, I think she looks great. Anyway, he tries to lift her up. Well, he does lift her up, and I guess he must have knocked into a tile and dust gets flying all in their face and they fall on the ground. And they're sitting there talking and stuff. And then Xander comes in. And Sammy's like, oh, thank goodness, you're here. I mean, I'm not even going to sit there and question how or why or... apparently they don't like each other. Apparently no one really likes Xander at this point. But they're like, oh, it's good to see you. And Xander's like, yeah, I have other plans. So he pulls out a gun. And yeah. So that's going to wind up happening. Somebody's going to get shot. Okay? Somebody's going to get shot. And I know it's going to be Lucas that's going to get shot. I know it. I know Lucas is going to get shot. Because Lucas is going to sit there and... I don't want to sit there and say play the hero. Because he's probably going to sit there and try to defend Sammy. And he's going to get shot. And then Sammy's going to do something to take the gun away. And either that or they're both going to get shot. And Xander's just going to walk away with money. So I guess we'll just wait and see. So Trip comes over with flowers to Allie. And he's like, listen, we didn't finish our conversation yesterday. We got rudely interrupted by Chanel again. So now I'm here and you're here. And well, first he comes over and he tells her about Kate being in a coma, an induced coma because of everything that happened to her. And then, he's like, we can sit there and wait, we can talk or whatever. They look like they're about to kiss again. And then Chanel comes over. Now Chanel is talking to Lonnie, and, Lonnie's like, listen, do what you gotta do to repair your relationship if you think it's, on the verge of whatever. Just do what you gotta do, talk to your friend, get it worked out. So she goes over there. And she comes in, and at this point she's like, yeah, I don't, should I be here? I mean, I'm here, and he's here, and kind of feel like I'm interrupting again. So, but she insists, to come in or whatever. So she comes in. Henry starts crying, so Allie leaves. So at this point, Chanel's like, listen, I just want to sit there and tell you, because we gotta talk. Whatever happened between me and her, it's whatever. I'm not trying to go after her. It's, I'm not trying to have it lead anywhere. And she even offers to leave. And I'm just like, is it my imagination? Or are you actually being, kind of a decent human being? Now, earlier when she was there talking to Lonnie, and she was like, I don't want to lose her as a friend. I don't really have much friends, And it was like, you probably don't have much friends because, you're, kind of a terrible person. You're a terrible person. That's why you don't have any friends. But she was surprisingly being, decent and nice. And, with Trip or whatever. And then Allie comes back and, Chanel's like, hey, listen, three's a crowd pretty much. She's like, just want to stop by, see how you're doing. Let me know, what's going on with your grandmother. And they hug, and then she walks out. And then Allie's like, did you say something to her? So I put down on my notes, I was like, WTF, is this chick serious? But, Trip is like, nah, I didn't say anything, and then they start making out again, so, but yeah, surprisingly, Chanel was actually a decent person. Now, I don't want to get anyone, hopes up, because, well, she is Chanel, and, that's just how she rolls, I guess, and, yay. But Lonnie's not there talking to Eli, and there's one point where, they're talking about, being together and whatever, and, Eli's like, hey, is she gonna mind me just walking around kind of, nearly naked and stuff like that, just with a towel on or whatever. That's what Eli says. And Lonnie, yeah, I don't know if I said Eli or Lonnie. Eli's like, is she going to be okay with me walking around with a towel or whatever? And Lonnie's like, oh, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Like she's not into guys. And I'm sitting there thinking, Lonnie, did you not hear anything what she just said? Because in the start of that conversation, she says, yeah, I've been with guys and I've been with girls too. Did she just get hung up on the girl's part? Because it was like, what? I just don't understand how she missed them when she was like, oh, I don't think that's going to be a problem because, she's not into guys. Like, they just did not have that. And the thing is, I look at this in soap opera time. This isn't like a day after they had this conversation. This was like the same day where they just finished having that conversation and she's like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. What? Also, Eli talks to Lonnie about, Kristen escaping and, she may come over here. And, at first Lonnie's like, I understood the whole stabbing Victor and pushing, I can't remember her name, down the stairs, but this is going too far. The Kate and, she can hurt someone now. So, stabbing this 90-year-old man in the heart, that's just, whatever. That's just Kristen being Kristen. Her pushing down somebody down the flight of steps now, that could have been an accident, but it's like, it was just an accident. But Kate and what happened to her is just like, this is going too far. Oh, okay, Lonnie. Alright, that's something. So, Lonnie goes to take the twins to Abe's place, and as she's going, Kristen's outside with Susan's bank face on or whatever. So, she sees Lonnie, she starts doing a whole Susan Bank thing, and Lonnie's like, yeah, I know exactly what's going on, I know who you are, just please stop the BS at this point, stop this act, I know who you are. So, the question is, what is she going to do? What is Lonnie going to do at this point? Is she going to turn in her friend? Is she going to cover for her? Is she going to give her a head start? She was there reassuring Eli, she's not going to do anything to the babies. She wouldn't sit there and hurt my babies or come over here or put me in that type of predicament. I'm sitting there thinking, it was like, first of all, Eli was like, she's desperate, that's number one. And two, Kristen did decide to turn herself in and serve some time to protect you. So at this point, she's going to use the whole, you owe me. Which I'm pretty sure she's going to wind up doing that tomorrow, so that should be interesting. And Nicole, the last scene, Nicole winds up telling Ava, because here's the thing, she comes over to Xander's place, right? And so Kristen hides, and, Nicole's like, I'm looking for my wedding ring. She finds the wedding ring, she's like, listen, do not tell anyone. Okay, because he really seems trustworthy and he's going to totally listen to what you have to say. Kristen's phone goes off, but, Xander covers. So, with that being said, Nicole leaves, and that's another thing that Kristen tried to hold over Xander. Hey, listen, I'll tell everyone, including maybe your precious wife or whatever, that what you did. And Xander's like, yeah, I don't care. Actually, as a matter of fact, I don't even like her, so please tell him, and make sure you video record it. But Nicole comes over Ray's place, talks to Ava, and tells her that she cheated on Eric with some random person because she doesn't sit there and say who. It takes a little work getting it out of her, but she winds up saying it, and I'm just like, do you still have a thing for Rafe? Because I'm pretty sure telling the girl that he's with what you did is not going to go over well if you're still trying to get with him. And I'm pretty sure she's still trying to get with him, but I guess she needed to talk to someone and let it out. I mean, she could have just let it out with a priest, but whatever. So she winds up telling her, and towards the end, she's like, listen, just don't tell anyone or whatever. Rafe walks in. Rafe is like, don't tell anyone what? What's going on? You keeping secrets in my house? What's up? I want to know. Nicole doesn't say anything. She walks off, and Rafe just wants to make sure that she's okay. I think that's about it. Yeah, Xander returned back to type, back to form, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just like, listen, at this point, if you're going to be sitting there running around drunk and everything like that, then I guess, take Kristen's money and do what you want to do. I mean, I also kind of look at this in the same breath, and I'm just like, bro, you did all this just for her. You did this turning around, this 180, this, I want to be a good guy just for her. When you do stuff for other people and not because you want to do it for yourself, it turns out like poop. Okay? And this is the result. Okay? I look at Xander, and I've been saying this for a while. I was like, you're doing all this work, just sit there and try to be a good person for her. It's going to wind up not doing you any favors in the long run. And here you are getting Xander to sit there and kill some people for money because he was only trying to be a good person for someone else. And when this whole thing turns sideways and he winds up getting caught, or facing any sort of legal action or jail or whatever, I'm going to sit there and look at Xander and I'm going to sit there and laugh. Listen, don't get me wrong, at the same time, I find it really interesting. I didn't know what Xander was like before he tried to turn to this fake good guy, whatever. And I say fake because it was never really genuine, as you all say. But yeah, I want to see how this whole thing plays out. I mean, at the same time, yeah, let's go back into the bad boy Xander that I didn't know. But if this is going to be interesting and this is going to be his new role, let's play it out. Let's see how it goes. But yes, with that being said, I think that's about it. If I missed anything, write it down in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. Thank you for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next video.